Look at the sum number 10 part 2. In the previous sums from 1 to 9, we have been given the equations from which we had to find out either the major axis, minor axis, or maybe the length of lattice rectum, or to find out the foci or the vertices, something like that. Now from sum number 10 onwards, we'll be given some conditions or some data are to be provided to find the equation of the ellipse. To find the equation of the ellipse, first we have to identify in which form we have to find out, like x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1 where a is greater than b, or x square by b square plus y square by a square is equal to 1 where a is greater than b. That means we are talking about to identify which equation to find out. That means the ellipse is in the horizontal form or in the vertical form, that we need to identify first. So that is to identify from the given datas only. Like sum number 10 part 2, it is given that the foci are at plus minus 40 and the vertices are at plus minus 50. So you can make out that, let me draw the figure. So these are the vertices given, say, and the foci are given at this. That means what? The x-axis would be the major axis of the ellipse. So the equation of the ellipse must be in the form of x by a plus y by b is x square by a square plus y by b square is equal to 1. Look at this. Now here it is given that since the vertices are at plus minus 50, so as we know for this equation, for the given equation, for the given equation of this one, x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1, we know that the vertices lies at plus minus a0. So easily we can make out the a value is 5, so a square is 25. To determine any equation of the ellipse, we need to find out a and b value, or rather a square plus b square values. Now foci are at 4, 0 plus minus 4, 0. That means what? The foci we know for this ellipse plus minus AE 0. So AE value is 4. So A value we have got it as 5. Therefore E is coming to 4 by 5. Now this will be utilized to find the value of B square, or maybe the value of B. The formula, as we know, E square is equal to 1 minus B square by A square, or you can use this line from that particular formula, B square is equal to A square whole bracket 1 minus E square. By substituting the values of A and E, we get the B value, or rather B square is coming to 9. We don't have to find the B. You may not find the value of B, just find the B square. Now what we need to do is we have to substitute the values of A square and B square in this equation. X square by A square plus Y square by B square is equal to 1. So the required equation of the ellipse is to be x square by 25 plus y square by 9 is equal to 1. Now come to sum number 10 part 3. Here it is given that the vertices are at 0, plus minus 13 and the foci are at 0, plus minus 5. What is being explained before that? We have to identify the form of the ellipse. That means the vertical form or the horizontal form. Now as we see that the vertices are at plus minus 0, plus minus 13, that means the vertices lies on y-axis, as well as the foci also 0, plus minus 5 lies on y-axis. So the line joining the vertices or the line joining the foci is to be the major axis of the ellipse, from which we can make out the y-axis is to be the major axis here. Alright. So we have to take the equation in the form x square by b square plus y square by a square is equal to 1, which has been taken here in the line, this one. Now, as it is given, the vertices are at 0 comma plus minus 13, like sum number 10 part 2, a square, a is 13, so a square is 169. Now we need to find out the value of b or b square. So as we know, the foci are at 0 comma plus minus ae, so ae is equal to 5, e is equal to, then by substituting the value of a, e is coming to 5 by 13. So this is to be utilized to find the value of b, like the last sum only. B square is equal to a square 1 minus e square. So b square is equal to coming to 144. Just simplify and find out the value of b square. Therefore we need to substitute the values of a square and b square in this equation, and which we get it here. The required equation is become x square by 144 plus y square by 169 is equal to 1. That is to be the answer. We will be doing sum number 11. Find the equation of the ellipse whose endpoints of the major axis are plus minus 3 comma 0 and the minor axis endpoints are 0 comma plus minus 2. So as I said, first we need to identify the type of the ellipse. Since the major axis is lies on x-axis plus minus 3 comma 0, so is quite clear the equation of the ellipse is to be x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1, where a is greater than b. Now here is a very simple sum. This is the value of a. As we know, the two endpoints of the major axis is at plus minus a comma 0, and the two endpoints of the minor axis are at 0 comma plus minus 2 for the horizontal ellipse. So simply put the values of a and b to get the equation of the ellipse. So let the equation of the ellipse be x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1, where a is the length of the semi-major axis, and here according to the given condition, the a value and this is the b value. So the required equation will be x square by 3 square, that is 9, and y square by 2 square, that is y square by 4 is equal to 1. Find the equation of the ellipse whose major axis, the length of major axis is 20 and the foci are at 0 comma plus minus 5. So since the length of the major axis is 20 and as we can see the foci lies on the y-axis, that means what? The major axis is to be the y-axis. So the equation should be in the form of x square by b square plus y square by a square is equal to 1. So that is to be the equation of the ellipse. Alright. Now what we find, we have been given the value of the length of the major axis. That means what? Length of the major axis is 2a, that is equal to 20. So a is equal to 10 units. Now the coordinates of the foci are at 0 plus minus ae. So as we have done for last few sums, we will be proceeding in the same manner, that ae value is 5, where the a value has come to 10, e is equal to 5. So e is coming to half. Alright. Now we have to utilize this. By using this one, we will find out the value of b. Now look at this line, that e is equal to half here. Now b square is equal to a square 1 minus e square whole bracket. So by putting the values of a and e, we are getting that the b square value is equal to 75. So substitute in this equation. So the required equation will be x square by 75 plus y square by 100 is equal to 1. That is the required equation of the ellipse. Sum number 13 says, find the equation of the ellipse whose foci are at plus minus 3, 0 and the length of the semi-major axis is 4 units. So here it is given that the foci are at plus minus 3, 0. So easily we can make out the x-axis is the major axis and the minor axis to be the y-axis. So the equation of the ellipse should be in the form of x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1, where a is greater than b. Now the semi-major axis is given as 4 units. That means the a value is given as 4 units. So a square is equal to 16. Now AE, that is the plus minus 3, 0 given the foci. So AE is equal to 3. E is coming to 3 by 4 by substituting the value of A. This is to be used to find the value of B square. So B square is equal to, as we know, A square whole bracket 1 minus, the bracket is missing. So make sure you put in bracket. B square is equal to A square whole bracket 1 minus E square, which is to be 7. By substituting the values of A and E, we get the B square value as 7. So just to substitute, x square by 16 plus y square by 7 is equal to 1. So what we find from the given condition, first thing to make out, the axis lies on major axis lies on x-axis or y-axis. Accordingly, we have to choose the equation, and then from the given conditions, we have to find out a and b values. So in almost all the sums, we have to do the same thing. Depending on different conditions, we have to approach in the different way, but the approaches are almost same. In sum number 14, it is given that find the equation of the ellipse whose center is at origin, foci on x-axis. So it is directly given the x-axis to be the major axis, and the distance of the one of the focus from the center is 4, and the length of the semi-minor axis is 3. That means we are being given the AE value as 4. That is, we know that the foci are at plus minus A0 for x-axis to be the major axis. And the value of B given here as 3. In the last few sums, what we have seen, the value of A were given. Here the value of B is given as 3. So this two to be utilized to find the value of A. So we are going to use the same relation, B square is equal to A square 1 minus whole bracket E square. So by substituting the values for B square and AE, we get the A square value is 25. Please check the calculation. Then we'll be getting the equation as x square by 25, that is the square of A, and the square of B is to be 9. So plus y square by 9 is equal to 1. So therefore the required equation is this one, x square by 25 plus y square by 9 is equal to 1. Sum number 16 part 3 says find the equation of the ellipse whose center is at the origin, major axis on x-axis, and having eccentricity is under root 3 by 5 and passing through the point minus 3 comma 1. So here it is given that the E value is given as root of 2 by 5 and the ellipse is passing through the point minus 3 comma 1. So let's see what to do. Since it is given that the major axis is on the x-axis, so the equation of the ellipse must be in the form of x square by a square plus y square by b square is equal to 1. Since this equation is passing through the point minus 3 comma 1, it must satisfy the equation. So in place of x and y, the values of x and y are being substituted as minus 3 comma 1. So we are getting one relation in A and B. Now it is given that the eccentricity E is equal to 2 by 5 under root. So E square is equal to 2 by 5. Now what do we know, that the B square is equal to A square whole bracket 1 minus E square. So we are going to substitute the value of e as root 2 by 5 or e square is equal to 2 by 5. That is what about done here. So just to simplify and get the expression in terms of a square. So what we are getting is 9a square. The value of e square is 2 by 5. Look at this line, from this line to this line. Achha, let me look from this to this line. So 1 minus of the value of e square 2 by 5, a square is remain a to the power 4, 1 minus 2 by 5 whole square. So if you simplify, the value of a square is coming to 32 by 3. Now substituting this value in this expression, a square is 32 by 3, 1 minus 2 by 5, that's the value of e square, which is coming to 32 by 5. So the a value, or rather a square, is 32 by 3, b square is 32 by 5. Substitute in this equation and then you simplify the equation to get the required equation of the ellipse, which is coming to x square by 32 by 3 plus y square by 32 by 5 is equal to 1. That is coming to 3x square plus 5y square, that is equal to 37. That's the required equation of the ellipse to be. Sum number 17, we need to find the equation of the ellipse whose center is at origin, major axis is on y-axis and passing through the point 3, 2 and 1, 6. Now here it is mentioned that the major axis is on y-axis. So the equation should be in the form of x square by b square plus y square by a square is equal to 1. Now let's see how to solve them. Now this is to be equation of the ellipse. Now since, as I said, is given that the major axis is the y-axis, so the equation of the ellipse should be in the form of this one, second form, or the vertical form, x by b square plus y by a square is equal to 1. Now this ellipse is passing through the point 3, 2. Okay, so this must satisfy the equation 1. That is what about done. Similarly, it passes through the point 1, 6. So we'll be getting the another equation. We have to solve them simultaneously to get the values of a square and b square. That is what about done in this part. So the second equation is, third equation is multiplied with 9 and subtracted from the second equation. You'll get the value of a square as 40. A square as 40 and b square as 10. Just to solve these two equations simultaneously, what has been done? Look at this line. Equation 2 into 9 minus equation 3. So the b square to get a square will be eliminated. That is what about done. That means what? This will become 36. This 4 will become 36 by a square and this is subtracted. So you will be getting that 81 minus of 1 by b square is equal to 8. So which implies that the b square is 10. Now put the value of b square in any one of the equation 2 or 3. So you'll get the value of a square. So where the a square is coming to 40. Hence the equation of the ellipse is to be x square by 10 y square by 40 is equal to 1, or you may simplify further and writing the equation as 4x square plus y square is equal to 40.